Welcome to Camp Canoa. My name is Pearl, and I'm part of the Canoa Learning and Support team. We've created a series of webinars that focus on specific features that we wanted to share with you. Today's focus is on design tips and tricks. We want you to be able to create presentations faster and easier with Canoa. I dropped a Canvas link into the description if you wanted to follow along. Let's get started. I wanted to talk first about one of our big time savings that we have just launched, and that's templates. So basically, now when you are on Canoa, you have the option of when you create new canvas, either to start with a blank canvas or to start with one of our templates. And we update this pretty regularly, and we have different options for you. So basically, rather than start from scratch, just start with one of our templates. And so today, when we talk about presentations and creating mood boards and all of the different tips and tricks that are available with Canoa, we're really going to focus on these options here on the toolbar. So essentially utilizing our ability to create lines and different shapes. And that's this icon here. And it does have a pull down. And then there's also shortcut keys here in case you are in the platform and you don't want to go to the toolbar to select. You just want to keep everything at your fingertips. You can just type R and that will activate creating a rectangle, or E to create an ellipse. And then you'll be able to also hold down the shift key and that will lock your shape. So very easy, quick ways for you to just start creating shapes. And then obviously when you click on your shape, you have the ability to set the fill as well as set the line type. So we've got a couple of different pre-built line types and weights, and then same thing, some existing colors. So just really handy. So everything that we have here, you're going to see in terms of shortcuts. We've also have a cute graphic so that you can copy and paste this into any of your canvases. But I know some people like to work with shortcuts, so we include those here. So just kind of moving along in terms of our features, one of our biggest, most popular feature, we can drag and drop images directly from your desktop, or you can copy paste any image from a website. So you can simply just go to a website, find an image you like, copy it, go to your canvas, select where you want to place it, and then just hit Control V. There we go. And it'll place it exactly where you want on your canvas. A great thing also with some of the features that we have available is the ability to just very quickly remove background. So when you do have an image that you've placed on your canvas and you click on it, you're going to see several icons appear below. And with just 2 clicks, you can remove the background from this image. So select your image and then click on the appearance icon. With the appearance icon, you can also set any kind of transparency. Also, with this other icon, remove background, you can easily remove the background. So you have a very clean white image. And then if you ever want to change it, you can also just click and it all comes back. So definitely huge time-saving feature for us. I've always had to use another program to remove the background, and I'd always have to use some kind of weird paintbrush. So having the ability to do something like this within just 2 clicks saves so much time for me. And it works on just a variety of different images. So definitely test that out for yourself. But yeah, just moving along. Typically when you're creating a presentation, especially with its design focus, we usually create things like different kinds of collages for different kinds of mood boards or to capture all of the images for your inspiration. So I've got one here that I'm looking at. And obviously you can see that this is something where I have different layers and different products that I'm working with. And another feature that we have is our right-click menu. The right-click menu becomes active when you select an image. So for example, I want to select this image here. I want to bring this to the front. I click on the image, I right-click, and I'll have the option to bring to front or send to back. So same thing, it's just a very easy way to layer. And then also we have the ability to mirror. So same thing, select your image, scroll down to find flip image vertically or horizontally, and you're also able to quickly then start layering your images, and creating a really interesting composition. And then for another type of collage, I wanted this one to have a little bit more of a format to it, something that was more aligned and following a grid. So same thing, our right-click menu also allows you to align products as well as distribute. So we have already built in a snapping feature. So when I select an object, I can start seeing that it wants to start snapping to the items close to it. So I can drop that in there. But I want to take these 3 images and I want to align them evenly with this as kind of this last image is my boundary. So I just place this image, my last image, where I want it to stop. And then I select all 3 images, right click, and then I can I can distribute horizontally. So now everything is spaced evenly. But now I also want to align it so that they all align on the bottom. So then I can just also select right click and then align horizontally and bottom. And so now everything is evenly spaced, aligned on the bottom. This starts to become really helpful when you've got things like these color swatches. So I've got all of these color swatches. I actually want to rotate them. So I'm just going to select all of them. I'm going to rotate them. And you can see that as you rotate, it'll automatically tell you the angle that you're rotating at. I want to place them here. But I obviously also want to have them evenly spaced. So I'm just going to drop this one at the bottom and then select all of them again. And this time when I right click, I want to distribute my selection vertically. And now everything is evenly spaced. So I didn't have to sit and fuss around with trying to find all of the different proper dimensions or what have you. And then I can also select all and I can adjust the size. This also looks like it needs to be aligned. So same thing, I'm going to select it. And then this time I'm going to align it to the left. And there you go. Very quickly, I've created a nice grid composition. Does anyone have any questions?
Can you show me again the removing the background?
Yeah, it's one of my favorite features. So I love showing that. So I'm going to actually take this. I'm going to actually pull this one out here. I'm going to make it really big so you can see it. So I have this image here. You do have to select your image, and then it will be this icon here called the appearance icon. So it's 2 clicks. You definitely have to first click on your appearance icon, and then you'll be able to see the remove background icon. And so once you hit that, it does obviously take a couple seconds to process, but as you can see, this happened very quickly and very cleanly. So it removed it. I didn't have to sit there trying to fuss with finding an edge or the right boundary. And then if you decide that you want to put that background back in, same thing, select your image, click the appearance icon, and then just click remove background again, and it will put the background back in.
Great, thank you.
It is honestly one of my most favorite features. I think it even does a great job, as you can see, with something like this image where it was shot on within an environment versus backdrop. So you can see that it also, same thing, pretty cleanly was able to identify the different boundaries of this trio of tables. So yeah, moving along. I know that creating vignettes is often a very practical way to convey your design ideas. So especially if you are working on something of an interior design project, we like to capture this in a way so that, your client can understand how everything is composed and looks together. So this vignette was created using products from our product catalog. So if you go up here to the plus, you'll have all of the different products that are available in our catalog. You can search by different categories as well as different brands, and then obviously adjust this to change to any kind of details or specifics, and then just simply drag and drop that into your canvas. And then once it's in your canvas, you can toggle amongst all the different views. So every product from our product catalog comes enriched with what we call product specs. So what you see here, which has obviously all of the product details, dimensions, list pricing. You can also switch to an image view, which is This is from the manufacturer, so it's a product image view. This has already a nice white background, but you can remove it further. And then you can also have your 2D drawing. So you've got a lot of different options that you can choose from. This 2D drawing is a temporary drawing at the moment, which you can tell because it's in purple. But most products have, I can show thing where it is a non-temporary drawing, which is all in black, which means that this drawing is to scale for the product shown here. So essentially, this vignette I created using remove background and layering different objects upon each other, flipping horizontally. So everything was created to create this concept. And then I honestly just copied the whole thing and then pasted it here and then just switched it to its product drawing views. So then I have the different drawings that I needed to create essentially this composition here. So huge time saver. I don't have to sit there and draw something out. I know that these are scaled to size. So when presenting not just my vignette, I can show how the composition fits together to scale. And then even better now, you can select everything. So just drag select, right click, and you'll have the option to group everything together. So now everything can function as one. I don't have any loose parts or pieces. And this works great with vignettes. It works great with collages. And obviously any of these loose swatches. If you ever want to ungroup, just select it, right click, and then you're able to ungroup. And then everything is individual again. So you can adjust sizes, make any changes that you need. So trying to make it super simple, but this is all found in our right click menu. And the right click really becomes active once you select something. So you will have to make a selection in order to get some of these right click options to show up for you. Does everyone feel good about that?
Yeah, is the symbols, the floor plan symbols, so you said they're to scale. So do they, I'm trying to play and watch and everything at the same time. So are they always, so is each dot, like each square in this grid, like, is this to scale? Is this like, is each one of those, is that a foot? Like, how do I know, like, the distance between the sofa and the coffee table? Are you eyeballing it? Is there a way to be more precise?
Yes, there's definitely a way to be precise. We do have a measure tool. So up here in our toolbar, when you activate this icon, you do have to click on it to do the drop down. So you can do something with this measure tool. The measure doesn't stick. It is just so you're not actually able to create a type dimension. So you can always double check. But yes, these lines are a foot.
Okay, great.
Obviously, as you start toggling in and out, it becomes easier to see. But it is designed to be something that you can start doing your layouts for more of, like, if you want to quickly eyeball. Okay, and then yes, all of these are to scale. This is only for when the drawing is in black. If it's a temporary drawing, like you saw previously where it was the purple, that product is not guaranteed to be to scale. It's just we as we add products to our product library, we assign a temporary drawing until we're able to then add the correctly scaled drawing. So at any point in time, we're constantly on the back end updating our drawings. So you wouldn't have to do anything. Once you put something in, if there's a purple outline, it will get replaced. You don't have to do any kind of active push. It just happens naturally. But there is a bit of a lag. And if you're ever in doubt, when you click on a product, you have the option to, same thing, right click, and you can view product details. So if for whatever reason you wanted just to verify the true dimensions of something, you're always able to see the full product details, the size, color, what have you. So that's one way to do it. Or you can also look at the card view, which does also have things like the specification. So it's nice to have as just a double check on reference. And then you can see here, I did that previously. All of these are the same products. So we've got the 3 views. We've got the images that I created as a vignette, the drawing that's laid out to scale, and then all of the different product card views of all the products found in the vignette. So super handy feature. So next up are frames. And we use frames to organize our canvas. So it's nice to, if you check out any of our templates, you'll see that we have used frames to organize it in different ways. We're always going to create something like a sandlot where you could put some of your products and inspiration. And it's just nice to start collecting it and organizing it and keeping it together. We'll also use frames to create things like what we perceive as like pages or slides. So we'll start laying out the actual presentation using a frame and using that as like our bounding area to create that simulation of a piece of paper or a slide. When you create a frame, super simple, right up here, we've got the frame icon. You can click that and you can just start drawing a frame, or you can also turn anything into a frame. So for example, I've got this guy here. I can select all of it, and then I can right click and frame the selection. So now everything in here that I've created is within a frame. If I wanted to make my frame bigger, I can easily just do that. And now I've included my swatches as part of this frame. And once everything's in a frame, you can see they're all bound together. They move as if they are one. You can set the ratio. So say I want to specifically design this as if it's an 11 by 17 piece of paper. I can change the ratio and I can start designing and moving things around within my frame. And then if ever I just want to get rid of my frame, I can either select it and just delete or right click. So frames are just a really great way to organize your canvas, and then, like I said, start creating those pages. And because everything moves together, you don't have to worry about doing like a select all. Like say I'm trying to put together my presentation. I've got my layout. I don't have to select all of the different parts and pieces that are in here. I can just grab the frame, move it around. So here's an example of how I am working with frames to start laying out a presentation. As I mentioned, with the frame, I've created some of these existing, what I'm calling paper space, that I want to be in a ratio of an 11 by 17. I want them to kind of be a little bit distinguished from each other. So when I click on the frame, I'll have the option to set a fill or set the stroke style. So for this page, I'm fine with it being to not have a background color. So I'm just keeping it as transparent, but I wanted to be crazy with my stroke style, and I'm going for a dotted line with a bright yellow, and let's go crazy and go for a really big thickness. So you can see how this is starting to pop off a little bit. We come to the next frame, and this one I'm like, oh yeah, let's set a fill style. Let's make it purple instead, but let's take the transparency way down. So it just helps you organize your thoughts, but also you can export your frames to PDF or as an image file. So if I do like this color, I do want this to be my background for a PDF. It is a great option if you want that to exist versus just having a plain white piece of paper.
Sorry.
And then, like I said, when you have a frame, you can move things in and out of your frame without affecting anything. But when everything is in your frame, everything moves together. So super handy when you're trying to organize your different layouts, your different furniture pieces, your color palette, and things like that. I've also started to create a slide title for myself, just as a template to work through. And this is how I had it in Google Slides. But now I wanted to bring it into Canoa because I decided, hey, I want to present here. So I took our footer as a JPEG and I placed it here. And then I locked it so it wouldn't move. And then I just started to add my different title slides. And super simple to do. We have a text box here. You can click on it, and then wherever you want to place your text box, you just click on your canvas. It will create a text box for you. You can start inputting into it. We have some limitations currently, but we're looking to expand this, but you're able to obviously make it bold, italic. We've got a couple of different color options that you can choose from. And then we also have a couple of limited fonts. So we're, like I said, looking to expand this. So hopefully in the next couple months, you're going to see more options available to you. But we also have some preset sizes. So you can easily just click on these and they will automatically adjust to this typical font size. But then if you're like, extra large is just not large enough for me, you also have the option to make it really big. So you can select the text, you can highlight what size you want it to be, and then just type it in and it will automatically size. So just a nice, easy option to have. And then you can place it into your frame wherever you need it to be. You also have the option to create bulleted lists or numbered lists. So really trying to make it handy. So if you ever decide you want to present from Canoa or build your whole presentation in Canoa, you have that option as well. Yeah. And then last step is, now that you've done all of this, what do you do with it? So we've got instructions on the side to talk about exporting. You just click on your frame and there will be an icon here that says export frame. So it has that little downward facing arrow. When you click on it, you have the option to select a format. So we have all of these options available to you. If you want just a PDF, you can click that. The size is the equivalent to the output. So if you want something, our standard default is 1x, which is equivalent to what you see. If you want something with a higher resolution or a larger file size, then obviously you can increase this or decrease this as necessary. And then you hit download and you will have this in a PDF that you can then bind together and send to somebody, or you can save it as a image file, so a PNG or a JPEG, if you wanted to take this and put it into a presentation. So for example, this vignette that I created, I just want to take this and I want to put this into a presentation. Instead of building my presentation in Canoa, I can export it as a PNG or a JPEG, and I'll have this vignette that I can put into my presentation program.
And you said when you export that if you did the 3x that it's a higher resolution?
It is. There are limitations, though, based on the image you brought in. So if you brought in an image with low resolution, saving it as a higher size output is not going to make it a crisper image. So just knowing that things could get super complicated. But obviously, if you're working with something like this collage, you're going to want it as obviously true and clear as possible. So it's always nice to try to go a little bit higher. I find that 2x, though, tends to give me really, really crisp images without getting to be such a cumbersome file size.
That's good to know.
Yeah. And then lastly, share. We always love to share our canvases. So right up here, we've got a share button, and then you can just email whomever you like. They do not even need to be a Canoa user. You can have them look at your work. If this is where you wanted to create all of your inspiration, your presentation, what have you, you can set them to be a viewer in case you don't want them to touch anything. Or if you're working with a colleague on this, you can set them as an editor and they'll have the ability to play with it. And then you can also give access to anybody on your account with those same permissions, or you can just create a link and provide somebody with the ability to view if you wanted to just email somebody. So a bunch of different ways to share. So you have a way of obviously communicating all of your ideas. It's just not closed off to you and you alone. So yeah, very, very quick rundown on tips and tricks for presentations.
I know I'm not paying for it. Is this for now, or is most everything free? And at what point does it become a pay for subscription?
Yeah, so everything that I've shown you today can be done by anybody with any level of membership. So you join Canoa, it's free. It's called our starter package. We're not closing off the features that I showed you. You do have access to our public catalog, which you can see right here, and you'll be able to look at any of these products, search them, start a canvas with them. The one thing that you're not able to do on a starter is save things that are custom products. So say you wanted to start a canvas with this, and then you wanted to make an edit on it. You don't have the ability to save things that you make edits to. So that is an upgraded feature. And you'll be able to see here our different price programs and what everything includes. So with the starter, you are limited to the number of canvases. So you only get 2 canvases. So I know some folks will delete things if they want to keep one canvas as like a working canvas and then one as a presentation canvas. It is infinite, so you can just literally move around the canvas. It does probably get a little trickier if you do want to share your canvas with a client, because they'll have access. So if you're sharing one canvas with multiple clients, they'll be able to see everything. But if you do decide that you want access to more canvases, then at that point, we do have different upgraded tiers for you that allow you with a different number of canvases available to you. But most people can function with 2 just fine and still get a lot done.
So the customization, does that include changing fabrics and finishes, or is that just changing? Okay. So you can't like have a working spec for something on the free. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, you could. There's different ways to play around with it. So for example, here, if I decided to turn this into a custom product, I can. And it will start creating all of these details for me. So basically, I just simply clicked on this image, and there was an option to create a product. And then it has that image. I can put in all of these details. This product lives just on this canvas alone. So if I wanted to have this as a reference as I'm working through other projects, I'd have to remember that I created this product on this canvas. So you can have a canvas where you have a bunch of custom products you've created and use that as kind of your master. You can have like one big canvas, like I said, that's a working canvas. And then in a frame, create a handy frame, title it custom products, and then put all of the items that you know are custom. And that way you can find it very easily. But once you get to our pro or studio level, this toolbar here becomes available to you. And so you'll have things like my catalog, which this is where all of those custom products go for you to access. So as you can see, that product I just created is right here. I have everything that I have ever created, or products that are just part of our account in general. So obviously with the Canoa account, we're seeing everything in our product library. But now I don't have to house everything on a canvas. I have everything here in my catalog. When you get to this level, you're also able to share it. You're able to edit, duplicate. So there is a lot more flexibility when you upgrade to, say, even our pro level at $35 a user a month. And then you also have the option to do things in bulk. So if you're working with a lot of specs that you have, say you've got a lot of standards that you work with all the time, you can upload all of your furniture specs via any CSV files. So Excel, Google Sheets, all of that, and then manage it in bulk just with Catalog Pro. So these features are only available once you do upgrade though.
Sure. Okay.
But like I said, our core features when it comes to our mood board tool and our product library, we keep it open and available. And that's not something that we're looking to change anytime soon. So you won't be restricted from doing that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And if you're open to it, we'll send you more information about some of the things that we covered today.
Sure.
And then we've got a couple of these later this month. And then we'll have a whole new series with different topics next month as well.
Great. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I did put a little link in the messages to go to Canoa University, which just launched this week, and we're really excited. There you can find additional courses and trainings that you can take on your own, or you can sign up for more one-on-one if you want to learn some more of those like advanced techniques.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Have a good day.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Bye.